I am Mo Tuzano, the Tabletop Bellhop, your cardboard concierge, working with you to make your game nights better. Now, what I'm hoping to do for you tonight is to show off a game you may be interested in picking up, and I think you will be, because this game is fantastic, and that is Gnome Hollow by Ammon Anderson, one of the coolest people in the board game industry and a fantastic artist who did all of the art for his game himself. He is a watercolorist. Due to life events, had some time available and decided to write a game while recovering. So I got to say, it looks fantastic. We have tried this game now. This is being published by the OP, or USAopoly, and I do have to thank the OP, who are also awesome, for providing us with a review copy of Gnome Hollow. So thank you to the OP and Amon. This is a game, competitive game, about making mushroom circles, fairy rings out of mushrooms, and putting up signposts and collecting mushrooms and selling them to get beautiful flowers. And you are trying to collect flowers, and the more flowers you have, unlock more abilities. And it features awesome artwork and little gnomes and standy stands, and just is a really fun game. I would be shocked if this was not at least nominated for a Spiel des Jahres next year. We will see. It is one of the best new to me games I have played this year. So a little hyped about this one. I know I'm probably overselling it, right? What you want to know, though, what I'm here to talk to you about tonight isn't the gameplay, how to play, how to win, how great the game is. It's what you get, what it looks like, including some component things that I don't know if I've seen in another game yet. So look forward to me showing those off once we crack the box on Gnome Hollow. So first thing I will point out, there is box lift. When you get the game, it looks like this. This is intentional. Once you remove all the cardboard, everything will fit tightly. I think this is a great expense to pay to have a game that fits tightly in the box when you're done. This doesn't bother me. And you also note it's in player colors as I spin it around, which I hadn't noticed before. So here we go. We're going to show off the sides. It talks about the contents here. You get green gnome on that side, blue gnome on this side, standing up gnome this way. And I always appreciate that, because if you store your game sanely, you use this side. If you're something wrong with you, you put them this way. So everything makes a mess. But you know what? With the box lift thing, maybe this is one that can stand vertically without a problem. So, an ad for another game. Aqua is also fantastic, I gotta say. Ads for other op stuff. We have the field guide. Instructions the size of the box. Not a huge fan of that myself. A little floppy, especially with this much wasted space. But we're gonna kind of flip through this. You get the story of the gnome. You get an overview. They even color coded it. I like that. That's new from the op that I remember. So you got the field guides in green. We're going to look at all these components. So I'm just going to go through this quickly. How to set up the board around I always want to call it the Deku tree. Those who know. And the stuff off to the side, and then the flower market over here. Sorry, the tile drafting market. See, when I played, it was a prototype. There was no market. We just put them out on the table. You've got the player boards. There's the different things you're going to do. It looks like each gnome has a different little story and background. Sorry, AP. And it shows making rings, because that is what you're doing in this game, is you are making rings of mushrooms with tiles. Is this a Carcassonne killer? It might be. And then it's talking about when you get your flowers and upgrading and what happens when you upgrade and so on. For what you think is a light game, this isn't that light. Like, you're looking at 15 pages. And then there is a hard side of the board. At least there was in the prototype. Yes, the advanced player board that has been pointed out that, like, that's for the 18xx players. Like, if you really want a tough economy. And then there's the different mushrooms and lots of guides. And I like it because, like, the whole theme of this is supposed to be a field guide. So I do dig that. And a nice summary on the back, and then the different tiles, how many there are of each type of curve. So when you're planning out your mushrooms, you can be like, well, I need a straight and nothing else. Well, there's 6 of those available. Of course, it's a game about making tiles and rings, so there's going to be lots of tiles. It's a huge chunk. We're going to flip this, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm literally going to put these aside for a moment, because I want to see if I have somewhere I can just toss them right into here. So you have the player boards, which you can't, I can't show you this because it's a weight thing, but they're heavy. They're surprisingly heavy boards, and we'll show you why in a minute. Okay. Because what I'm hoping to do is drop in the proper things to the right spot. So look at this nice insert that actually shows kind of where everything goes. Bunch of pieces here. Cloth bag to draw the tiles out of, and bonus bags. Nice. Nice bag. Nothing stitched on it, which is fine. We're not going to worry about these right now. Now that I have places to put these, we're going to move these aside. I'm just going to punch these because I want to be able to shut this box. So we're going to quickly grab all of these. Oh, there's color-coded ones. You know what? They're all going in here for now. Because I want to be able to shut the box at the end. Okay, red round things. They go in here. These little square things. Not sure. For now, they're going in these. I don't recognize those from our demo. I think they might be for the market track. So this I thought was cute. These are your scoring tokens. And they're just like cute things that gnomes like collect. You got like feathers and keys and crystals and bottle caps. Which I just thought was a cute way to show your money off. So that's supposed to be the gnomes. That's supposed to be the hexes. This is also points. Yeah, okay. That's buttons for 2 points. So this is all of our points. Mushrooms! Get all the mushroom types. Tons of mushrooms. Potted plants. So when you collect potted plants, they're going to slide in here. You know, so it shows you've collected that potted plant. Plants go up here. Reference cards. Empty. The market, which determines the price when you trade in your mushrooms, what you can get. Which probably sits right about there. Nice. First player token of the gnome hat. Still not sure what these little ones are. That's fine. I think it's to mark off what's been sold. Ta-da. The market board for drafting tiles, which also fits nice there. And reference card for the different mushrooms. So this goes here. Then looks like this goes here. Yep. Then this goes here. Then that goes there. So that's kind of nice, the way those all nest. Then your player boards would go on top. And I still think maybe I could have put the punch boards. Then we got all this cool stuff. So one of the things you can do is put out signposts that become worker placement spots. But like that is a nice chunky silk screened and then varnished. That if you go here, you get 3 mushrooms. And there are all these wooden signposts. That is actually really nice. We're going to go with signposts in the middle. Then we got all our gnomes with their awesome artwork. Again, the designer of the game did this themselves, which are all shaped like gnome hats. Then we get to these, which look like they are just wooden cylinders in the different player colors, but are actually cooler than that because, and here is the component you've never seen in a board game before, at least I haven't. Look at that. That is a magnetic player board. I don't know of another game in my collection that has wooden components with little magnets on them to actually keep your player board from. So what's cooler, this or dual layer boards. So this is the basic game. And as I said, the advanced game is for heavier gamers. The more complicated. Like, just look at the difference for this. And it has to do with, you just need to make a ring that's 4, and you're like, hey, I've made a ring with 4 tiles, and I get an upgrade for doing that. I move this down here. But on this side, it's like you need to make a ring in that specific pattern with 7 of them. And if you fill in both, you get a tree. Just this is the more complicated side. So yes, I really want to show this off. These are all magnetic. Like, technically you would put the yellow ones on the yellow player board, but no more worry about your board getting bumped. Look, I can barely get them to slide, and I'm shaking that pretty vigorously. So I thought that was a pretty nice thing. I'd never seen that before. Here you go. Everything you get in Gnome Hollow, including being kind of sorted to where it belongs. So we're going to put those in there. Yep, that fits flat. I missed this one earlier, I think. Oh, there, it fits nice there. There we go. And then this. Then, nope, those are last. Plus, they gave us baggies. If I was into that, I could have kept everything in baggies still. And that. Gotta say, it looks pretty. Rulebook. Topple box. Gnome Hollow. So there you go. What you get. Gnome Hollow from the up. It's right down here. Ammon Anderson. Great game, honestly. I really enjoyed my one play of this. Looking forward to playing it more. Really nice components. Nice thick tiles. Wooden gnomes. All hand-painted watercolor artwork by Ammon himself, designer of the game. Each of the gnomes looks unique. You've got actual wooden standing signs to show when you complete a ring and you make a new worker placement spot. And one of the nicest upgrades I've seen in a board game of recent, a new innovation in a way of magnetic boards that hold your pieces in place instead of a dual layer board. Yes, I've seen games with magnets before, but like a magnetic board like that, it's just a really cool upgrade. So that's Gnome Hollow. Looking forward to sharing this game with the rest of my family and my kids. I think they're really going to like it. Don't let the silly gnomes on the cover fool you. This is not a super light game. What do they recommend? Ages 12 plus. So yeah, not a kid's game. It is definitely a family weight, making circles, tile laying game. There's economic aspects where you're selling your mushrooms to get points and collecting flowers to unlock abilities. Really neat game by the op. Fantastic looking components. Really looking forward to digging into Gnome Hollow. And when I do dig into it, I will be sharing my thoughts on social media, where you can find me everywhere as Tabletop Bellhop, one word. We'll also probably be talking about the game on the Tabletop Bellhop Gaming Podcast, which you can find on your podcatcher of choice. And you can find everything Tabletop Bellhop at tabletopbellhop.com. That is our main webpage, and it'd be awesome if you go check that out once you're done watching here and while we're done. So, good day and game on.